Hi there folks, Gareth here, and this is the Arcos 50 Power. This is a £140 semi-budget phone. I wouldn't say £140 is particularly budget, but at least be the high end of a budget phone. But it's obviously an Arcos, and that means it's going to have slightly better build quality than what you might expect from something about the same price. Okay, so inside we have a long battery life. It's got 4G LTE support, a 5.0 IPS display, and a 13 megapixel camera on the back. I think that /2 is because there's a 2 megapixel camera on the front. Not great, but it'll do for the odd selfie. This is the 16 gigabyte variant, and that's about all that's on there. Picture of it on the side. On the top it says Arcos, and on the side it says the website. A little more information on the side here. Now here, very importantly, is a 4000 milliamp hour battery. That's the battery that we saw recently in the Arcos 24, the T9 type phone, candy bar. The 4G LTE, quad-core 1 gigahertz processor inside it, 2 gigabytes of RAM, so speedy enough. Should work quite well. Especially with the 2 gigabyte of RAM. IPS HD display running at 1280 by 720, 13 megapixel camera again, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, GPS, dual SIM, some people really love that, and microSD card slot for expandable memory. Pre-installed games by Gameloft, but Arcos is one company that usually gives you an option. Do you want to install all the crap, or do you not? So there we go. Band information there for any of those who are interested. Sometimes I know in the comments we get people asking if it's available on this band. Well, this is, I think, an international version, so should be covering most of the bands there. Okay, let's get in and have a look. Oh, it says there that it's running Android 5.1 Lollipop, which I know is compatible with their Arcos Storage Fusion system that allows you to combine the 16 gigabytes with whatever memory card you put in and have a total storage space at your disposal, as opposed to having to move things between the SD card and the internal memory. Okay, no screen protector on the front. Obviously this has been looked at before. Okay, demonstration unit. We'll look at that later. There's got to be other stuff in here. Headphones. Oh, they've changed their headphones. They're different. They're in-ear ones. Thank you, Arcos. Well done. We've needed that for a while. The last ones, whilst not truly terrible, were just... you'd throw them in the bin straight away. These, I will give these a go and see how well they work out. They're not Arcos branded, which is a bit of a surprise. The cable feels incredibly flimsy. It's quite nasty, actually, that cable. I don't see it lasting very long. We have a microphone on the back here of the inline unit, and a clicky button for interacting with it. Then we have a very cheap looking 3-pole 3.5mm headphone jack. Well, I don't have high hopes for those headphones, but who uses in-box headphones? Apple users, I suppose. Well, who uses cheap phone insert headphones? They'll do. Arcos manual. Arcos quick start guide, which is that thick, although that covers every language under the sun. Arcos technical assistance. It's great to see a company still maintaining that. Aha! And a screen protector in the box. How nice. It's very dusty looking, but we'll apply that when we're doing our review. So, the Arcos itself. It feels nice in the hand. It does initially, straight away. It's a good size. It's a good weight. Obviously the battery is inside it. I'll give the screen a quick wipe there because it's a bit dirty. Okay, on the top here we have an ear speaker and that's the 2 megapixel camera on the front. Then this is the 5-inch IPS display, which has a little bit of a bezel around it. It's not entirely up to the screen, up to the edge of the device. Some people will complain about that. And then down the bottom, just a nice little black area with nothing in it. On the bottom, Off to the side we have the USB, or the micro USB plug, not USB-C, a microphone here. Around this side we have a power button and the SIM card tray. That looks like it's a double, so it'll be the microSD. That said, there's nothing in the actual box for you to pop it out, so you will have to go and source your own paperclip. At the top here we have a 3.5mm headphone jack, volume rocker here, nice rounded smooth sides. I have to say it is quite nice to hold. It's a nice device, physically to have in your hand. And we have the 16 megapixel camera on the back, 13 megapixel even, and then an LED flash below it, Arcos branding, techie stuff, and then a loudspeaker at the bottom. There is charge inside it, good news. Arcos, entertainment your way, powered by Android. Screen looks a bit dim at the moment. Nice viewing angles, I can see that Arcos very clear as I turn it around to the sides. Okay, straight up process system isn't responding. Do you want to close it? Okay. Right, we're on the welcome screen. Never had an error this early on in the phone, but I guess it's the first time for everything. Insert SIM cards, we'll skip that. Get us onto a local network. Now there is a 5 GHz network running here, and this is not picking up. It's picking up both of my 2.4s. I've just noticed that's called 4.42 as opposed to 2.4. I might have to go and change that. Okay, we're going to skip adding this to my device. Pretty summertime, today's date. Time. Name. Okay, and you can set your screen lock from there. Skip it. Right, so this is the bit I was talking about. Android applications which are going to be installed, have been developed for Androids, blah 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 blah. Do you want to install them? Well, I'm going to, because it's going to be naked Android, aside from the Arcos media player and their file manager. I think that's all that they put on it. Whereas this will put on usually News Republic and those Gameloft games, so we're just going to let it do that. So that's all it was actually. 3 games and 2 utilities. Okay, got it. I'm going to turn the screen brightness up because it seems to be quite dim. Right, so there we have a fairly naked Android. It's added on a few extra things. There's the Arcos video I mentioned. We'll go for the camera straight away and take some pictures of the headphones. We're not on a golf course, don't worry. That's just a demonstration. Pinch to zoom and all that. Come on. Okay, so the focus time on that was a bit slow. Right, so from the top down menu we have a couple of different options as opposed to the usual Android collection. We have audio profiles over here, auto rotate, airplane mode, location, torch and SIM card. Audio profile. Arcos always take their media very seriously whenever it comes to these devices, so expect to see a bit of an enhanced experience when it comes to those. Arcos video player is there in its wonderment because it's a great facility for it. You can access media players and media servers and all that kind of thing directly from here, which is great. So otherwise we have the files, an FM radio, and there's News Republic and Modern Combat that were installed in the Office Suite. Photos, play games, play movies, puzzle pets, SIM card toolkit, and the sound recorder. About the phone, Android 4.1, kernel version, build number. Okay, the storage wise, of the 16 we have 11 gigabytes. Now that also includes obviously the games and things that were installed there. So we have a gigabyte of apps, although I haven't opened Modern Combat or Spider-Man. They will probably download their game content from the Gameloft servers. I will, however, install Geekbench. Okay, so after a seemingly endless experience in downloading updates, which are still going, as you can see in the top corner, there was 29 or something updates that needed to be applied to various apps and things. Here is the breakdown via Geekbench. We have Android 5.1, CPU speed of 1 GHz, the GPU is a Mali T720, and there is 2 GB of memory. The battery is 95%, not charged, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so we are going to go back and do a regular benchmark. Okay, so the resultant score is, single core is 457, and multi-core is 1256. And a quick run through Antutu also. Okay, so we have a total score of 22,691. That's kind of low, I suppose, whenever you take into account the Samsung Galaxy S6 was 67,000. The Google Nexus 6, not the 6P mind you, is 49,000. So this is sitting at 22,000. Guess you're going to get what you pay for, really. Stick that into ranking. There's the OnePlus 3 at 140,000. My device, way down here. Okay, so other than that, the device doesn't seem to be particularly slowed down in any way. I guess it would be after you start installing as many apps as you like. We are still downloading more updates to various things, which is mildly infuriating. However, we're going to go and do a full review on it and we'll get it up on the site. It feels quite nice. It's a nice device to hold. It certainly is. It really... it's got a non-slick back on it. It doesn't feel particularly plasticky, and when typing, the haptic feedback actually works with the phone, which some phones don't get right. And I think some phones don't get right, and quite a few of them have a kind of a real loose haptic feedback when you use it, and it almost feels like it's disconnected from the device and ringing inside. This, however, the haptic feedback feels like it is one with the device, so the whole device shakes. Doesn't feel loose at all. So you do feel kind of more one with the device when you're using it. The response time seems to be quite good on the screen. The screen does seem to be quite dull, though. Whenever we turn it down to half brightness, it's not particularly exciting. It looks quite dark, and we're on full battery power, we're on half brightness. We'd need to keep that up to full brightness for the majority of the time. It does look quite nice when on full brightness, but you do wish that it would go just a little bit higher. I feel that maybe in direct sunlight this device is going to struggle However, we'll see whenever we get it out there. So that's the Arcos 50 Power in a nutshell. We'll go away, play with it, and see how it works out. Okay, thanks for watching.